We had so many amazing members and investigators who were just like incredibly generous with with making food for us and like just preparing things with so much love. And because the mission's really small, like geographically speaking, each area is also fairly small, and there are a lot of really strong wards in California, and they love to, at least in my mission, they love to feed the missionaries. So we ate with members like really often, you know. And the coolest thing about meals with members, I thought, was we would love to ask them like, how did you like join the church? Because pretty much every member was a convert in those wards. And so they all had really interesting, beautiful stories, and they would tell us how they joined the church. And that really gave us a lot of beautiful perspectives on like the different ways that the Spirit can reach people, and also like just like the variety of how people work, like, you know, what makes sense to them, or how do they get to know God better. And we got to know the members better, like we felt closer to them, so it was like easier to work with them and invite them to lessons because we knew the kinds of stories that they had. And I think they liked telling the stories too. Another thing that I loved doing was asking people how they made food. Like, I actually think that's like one of the ways I learned Spanish, was asking people, was just having meals with members, and like I would just like write down like all the stuff they said. Like if they said some word I didn't know, I'm like, what does that mean? Okay, I'm writing that down. And also we would collect all the words that we learned throughout the day that we didn't know. Like we like could look it up in the dictionary, but still didn't really get how people use it. Like how do you say that in a normal sentence? And so we would write those down and then like have the kids in the family help us, or the family, like the parents. And so that was an extremely huge blessing, because at least most of the sisters in the Anaheim mission, none of us were like native Spanish speakers. Only one sister grew up speaking Spanish, and so we needed all the help we could get. I love Mexican food. Like, I got used to, you know, tortillas. It's the normal thing with every meal. It's like almost like as normal as having a fork and a knife. The most interesting thing I tried, and I actually liked it, we had grasshopper tacos once. And that's like a Oaxaca specialty. In Oaxaca, they like have huge fields that grasshoppers just invade every like August and September, and they harvest them and roast them in lime and salt. And so they're like really small and they're crunchy, and they tasted really good. I mean, I don't know if I would know how to like make them or anything, but I just had them once. I had this kind of like more scary meal one time. We had shrimp that were, they were still like whole shrimp, so they still had like their eyes and like all the legs and a tail and the shell. So we had to like take all of it off before you ate the shrimp. So that was an adventure. That was a real adventure. That family they always gave us adventurous things. I didn't actually ever like spicy food before my mission. I feel like I had some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of like blessing that lasted just 18 months. Because I was like, yeah, like spicy food is fine. And then I came home and I was like, oh, never mind. So it worked for 18 months, which is good because, you know, Chile is like, that's the thing, that's the bread of life with Mexican food. Like you just have it with everything.